All right, Adam.
All right.
This is our third episode.
Episode 3, everyone.
Quick shout out. Everybody, please, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. It really helps us out a lot.
Yes.
And thanks for listening to us so far.
Yep. Just the beginning of hopefully something that will be long-lasting and fun and good times, and we get good feedback and keep this little deal going.
Maybe we can send you a link to our fans only page.
This episode, a raffle.
This episode's about Disney, but it's also going to be very blue. So get strapped in or strapped on.
Yeah, it's one of our, I'm sure, many episodes about Disney because I'm like a super Disney fanatic. And
God.
I'm just saying it's gonna happen. You teamed up with me, and that's what it is. So
you're the you're the fanatic.
The fanatic.
The fanatic.
The fanatic. I'm not even ashamed. I'm a fanatic.
Well, we're going to talk about Star Wars, so I mean that's fanatics too. So
and see, I'm a fanatic, but I can be critical. So I'm not the kind of Disney fan that's like, whatever they do is perfect.
The new Aladdin movie was nothing wrong with it.
Oh man, I didn't even see it. That's how good it was.
So let me first start off with the story. And I was at self-checkout, and I'm standing in line with 7 people. And we were like waiting. And this lady comes up and she goes, "Hey everyone, I have a few items. I'm going ahead of all you." I'm like, what? Exactly. We all had the same reaction. I was like,
wow.
No, that's not how this works.
And that's,
So she tries, and then the self-checkout cashier lady goes, "No, that's not how this works."
Shut down.
Yes.
Nice.
Back to the line.
Wow.
She was like, "My time is more important than all of you."
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not.
Interesting.
And then I was driving by the same day. I was driving by this old Hooters that closed down, and I noticed it was being demolished. I was like, "What the hell?" I was thinking about the big mouse, right? Disney. And then I was thinking, well, maybe this has something to do with a mouse. Maybe they had a rat problem after, that Hooters closed down and they couldn't get rid of the rats, And I was like, maybe that's what it was. And then I see they're actually like demolishing it, like just totally destroying the Hooters. I'm like, man, it must have been really bad. They must have had like a little family of mouses or mice that had little Hooters t-shirts and were serving little mice with cheese.
Raisins.
Welcome to Hooters. And they have like little mice. I like the cheese.
And don't mice have like 6 Hooters? So a little different.
a little shirt with 6 Hooters poking out.
Multiple Hooters.
And nice. Then yesterday I drove by it again, and they put up a banner of what they're building there. And I was like, "Oh, it's a Starbucks." And I was like, and then and then a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, "So you're replacing Hooters with another addiction focused business."
Yep.
And the logo is a naked chick with hair covering her nips.
Right.
I was like, "Dang, this is ironic."
Keep the theme going. Yeah,
oh my God, man.
That's quite interesting.
I was like, well, caffeine is pretty addicting, just like boobs. Yeah. They go neck and neck. Boobs and coffee. Maybe some cocaine.
Very addictive. What if they should like incorporate the two and do like a Stooters or something? I don't know. Like there's the two companies that are the restaurants that emphasize, Hooters, and the other one's Twin Peaks. It's like not even subtle at all.
What I would call it? I would call it Starfucks.
Starfuckers Incorporated.
You want to see our XXX section in the back? We got movies you can watch while you're drinking
we have coffee.
Venti latte with the side of milk.
All natural. Do you remember the bikini bistros up here, right?
Oh no,
bikini baristas. Yeah, they're still here. They're still.
Oh, I missed out.
Oh, dude, there's one right across from the Sam's Club. It was a bikini barista. It was like actually up the street. But yeah, they're totally in full on bikinis, and Guys pull
Oh.
through and like a extra grande espresso with a little extra milk. Oh, get it?
Oh, you stop it!
Make sure it's almond milk.
Right?
I don't know.
I'm allergic. Ooh, isn't that sexy? Oh gosh.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh
But yeah, yeah. They actually opened one. It's not open anymore, but up on just down the street on Capitol Hill. But it was because it used to be a bikini barista, but now they turned it into a male barista. Like I forgot what it was called, but it was like a guy wearing a Speedo. It's like for the gay community to get the same kind of effect, you know. But I was like, oh, go! That's awesome though. More power to them. But it closed. It didn't last.
Oh, that's a shocker.
Yeah. So
Pretend I didn't know about that place. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So Disney, man. Oh
Yeah.
my god. So you're pretty pissed about the state of Disney's park, other than the year 2020.
Right. Yeah. Not really into the direction with the Star Wars and the Marvel. I'm kind of a traditionalist. More so about traditionalist with Disney parks, as far as like Walt always wanted it. He never wanted to really incorporate the movies with the parks. He always wanted to have that separation. And so that's why he never, besides like Fantasyland having ties to different movies, the cartoons. But other than that, he wanted everything to be kind of its own like entity of sorts. So
Disney, especially Disneyland and Universal Studios, have definitely met in the middle in terms of like similarities.
Mm-hmm.
Like Universal Studios is all about the movies, and I've noticed in Disney it's starting to get that way too.
Yeah, it really is. I've never been to the Hollywood Universal, but I went to the Florida one.
I've been to both.
And yeah,
they're super similar.
Super, yeah. I enjoyed myself. It just didn't have the same feel of like a Disney park for me. So
I'm about to make you mad. I prefer Universal over Disney.
Oh, you're one of those people.
I do.
Click.
I'm the Android guy.
Podcast over. Yeah, right.
I'm the Android guy.
No, you're not, you liar.
Google all the way.
No. I'll use Google. I like the Google. The Google's good.
The Google Chromebook is better than the Mac.
Blasphemer!
Yeah, Universal Studios, I think, is mainly because I didn't have that Disney nostalgia like you did.
Right.
I went to Disney when I was like 5 with my biological father, and I don't remember any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did go to Universal Studios a few times, and I had a blast every time. And I grew up on those Steven Spielberg movies. I grew up on Indiana Jones. I grew up on Jaws. I watched a guy get eaten by a shark at age 5. Like,
oh, not live.
Oh, yeah, live too. No,
what? You are from Florida. That could happen.
Yeah, the scene where the boat starts sinking and he grabs the rifle and then he shoots the thing. I've seen that probably 20 times as a child. And he blows up the shark.
Yep.
Yeah, that shark to this day, it's great because it's so dead in the eyes. When he goes to put the bait in the water and he sees the shark come out of the water for the first time and he jumps up, that is like so burned into my retinas, like in my brain. When he turns around and he goes, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
Yeah.
So this is going to be movie reference lines, the episode, because I got so many lines. But oh my God, yeah, like Disney for me, I don't have that love for Disney at all. Well, let me tell you, when I grew up, when I went to the daycare, I remember sitting down at the daycare and, they would turn the TV on. We would have TV hour or whatever, and they would turn it on and they would start playing all these Disney movies and all the kids, they would start, and they would start singing along with it. Like they knew it by heart. And I was like, what the fuck? How do you know this song by heart? I was like, what? And that's when I realized,
weirdos.
I was like, that's when I realized like, oh, they're watching this shit way more than I am.
Yep.
Like I've seen Aladdin maybe 3 times as a kid. I can't hum a single tune. I just rewatched it. I just rewatched it today to reference it. But I was trying to think of like, why was this? Why was this the case? And I thought about it, was like, well, I had older siblings and I wasn't sheltered at all. Like, I was completely unsheltered. Like, I saw rated R movies growing up. That was like my childhood. I mean, like, I had nightmares from watching Friday the 13th. You know, a guy gets split in half with a machete, stuck to a tree.
Yep.
The like, I've watched that like 10 times by the time I was 7. I seen Hellraiser at 7. I seen all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Oh my god!
Yeah,
like,
that'll do it.
They give me nightmares, man. But yeah, I watched it all, man. Jaws, Jurassic Park, all those movies. I didn't see anything that was not rated R.
Right. And that's the thing, is that I was actually sheltered, and I did. I think the Disney movies, when they came out again, like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, that was like the resurgence time, and Lion King. And so even before then, I was like a huge Disney fanatic and fan, and I just, when those came out, it just made me even more. I'm like, oh, Disney's back. They're doing animated cartoons again. This is amazing.
And granted, they're really good. Like, when I watch them, I'm like, this is really great.
Yeah.
I just don't have nostalgia goggles for them.
That's the thing. And for me growing up, being sheltered and not having, the whole high school experience that a lot of kids had. I never went to parties. I didn't go to prom. I didn't do any of that stuff. So my highlight of my years going through high school was our Disney trips. Like, that's what I would look forward to. So that
You
kind of
poor soul. You know what you remind me of? You remind me of National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah.
Marty Moose. And they drive across the
pretty much. Yeah,
I'm like park.
I'm like a young Chevy Chase when I was that age. Like, that was my man. Like, and I'm talking like I'm 18 years old, 19 years old. And that's my highlight of my year. There was,
oh my god!
I did nothing else really. Like,
did your dad hijack the park and the security guard ride on the rides with you?
No, actually, that would have been my mom, because my dad never went with us. He went on one trip with us, and that whole story is like a whole nother podcast with my family. We're kind of different. Yeah, he was working a lot, but yeah, that's another thing too, is the family dynamic with getting along with the in-laws and stuff was kind of part of it too. So
I'm just now imagining your mom with like a freaking Uzi. Let us in!
Dude, we were, let me tell you something. We were dead set on going every single year. And we had some financial issues a couple of times, but we were determined, man. Let me explain where this is going. We went one year, we were like, okay, we don't know if we can go this year, but we were determined. We only had one car that worked well. It wasn't ours. It was my grandmother's and aunt's. It was a Pontiac 1000. This is like this is like late 80s, I think, mid 80s.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
It was a hatchback, right? A hatchback 4-door Pontiac 1000. We loaded 8 people in that car and put a U-Haul luggage carrier on top of it and drove 2,000 miles to Orlando to go to Disney for 3 days. We went for 3 days. This is when there was only one park. There was only the Magic Kingdom at this time.
Everyone listening, this is a fanatic. These are fanatics. This is what you do. This is what they do. Crazy.
And people call us weirdos. Like, what are adults that go to Disney without kids? Yeah, they're weirdos.
These are the kids that memorized all the freaking lyrics in the musicals and the Disney movies.
So, needless to say, every stop we made, like going to eat, I remember stopping at a Waffle House. And anyone that has never had Waffle House, you're missing out. It's amazing. Anyway, we stopped at the Waffle House at like midnight, and we're all getting out of this car, and we look over, and everybody in the restaurant's looking out like, wow, I've never seen a clown car before. This is amazing.
Oh, and just
how many more are in there?
And just to be clear, you guys had like tube socks jacked up, little jean blue denim shorts,
tank tops,
a little fanny pack in the front.
Oh, dude, fanny packs are a must. Where am I supposed to keep all my souvenirs and giggly goops? And
you had a t-shirt tucked in.
Pretty much.
It was so late 80s, early 90s style.
Yeah. I have pictures.
Bright colors.
I'm proud of it.
I've seen the videos.
That's right. Anyone, we'll have to do a link to my YouTube.
I'll post it in the show notes.
There we go.
Trust me.
Nice.
I'll post the link. Yeah. very late 80s, early 90s fashion. Think of the kid from Jurassic Park. Like, like with the little thing around his neck.
Yeah. But I fashioned my fanny pack. I kind of wore it on my back, like, hip bone area, so I was cool with it.
So someone can easily rob you.
Yeah,
Give me that.
Pretty much. And I did keep my wallet in it. How stupid was that?
Did you have a cheesy greaser kid with the 50s haircut trying to rob you? Give me that, kid.
Yeah. Hey, give me all your money. All I have is $10. Give me.
Every bully from the 80s and 90s movies.
Oh, here's another crazy fanatic thing that I did one year. I saved $200, which was a lot for me at the time because I didn't really make a lot. $200. I spent all $200 on T-shirts, on Disney T-shirts.
Oh my god!
So I basically got 10 T-shirts because they're about $20 a piece. So,
oh my god!
Yeah, I came out of there with 10 T-shirts. Even my family, my aunts and her grandmother was like, "Wow, you're getting another T-shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got to wear one for each day of the week plus some."
Oh, that's the thing that's pushed too far. We drove 2,000 miles, but the shirts.
Yeah. How dare you? No, we not to get too far into the Disney trip. That'll be a whole nother episode about our Disney trips.
Oh, I can't wait.
We did a yeah. You're just gonna sit back and not say. We're gonna hear Trevor doing a lot of
great.
Wow, that's awesome.
You hear porn in the background, like watching porn or something.
Trevor, are you there? Trevor. Hey, I think okay, I know what happened. So this is the last thing, and then we'll start talking. We'll get on to some Disney updated stuff. This one year, we swear to God, our parents were dealing drugs because it was like the ultimate Disney trip on crack. We had 2 full-size minivans for 8 people, which was different than the other time. And we stayed 10 days at the parks. And we all got season passes. Oh my God. Every one of us got an annual pass.
I'm just ringing this all up in my mind, like the cost.
Well, at that time, let me tell you though, at that time, it was the annual pass was like $100 for a year pass. So it actually was cheaper for us to get the annual pass than to get like 2 5-day hopper passes. So yeah, we stayed for 10 days. We stayed on the property and it was just like, wow. And then me and my cousin, me and Eric, we were like, where did they get all this money? Because we never had this kind of trip before. And we're like, what happened? What happened with this year compared to other years? Like they must be dealing drugs or something.
You walk in the hotel room. They have like a money counter.
Get out! Go ride Space Mountain again.
Piles of cocaine. Pull out Uzis when you walk in.
Oh. Grandma, what do you got in your nose?
She's got a cigarette in her mouth. She got
yeah, this stuff's good. It's pure.
She's got a sweaty tank top on, like hairy back.
Look, we're about to go to Disney. Get out of the room.
And in the next room, there's like feds listening, like sound equipment running. We're gonna make the bust any moment.
That's how it happened. That's what happened. But yeah, that was a good trip, man. That was a great one.
Did someone get on their knees for the mouse? Get on their knees.
Look here, man. You want to stay for 10 days, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
But the only downside of that trip was when we got back and I had to sit there and look at that annual pass for like the whole rest of that year, knowing that if I was down in Orlando right now, I could just go right in. But I'm here in Little Rock, Arkansas, stuck.
Wow.
Staring at this damn pass. But, yeah.
As a kid, you might as well have been on the moon.
Yeah, dude. Well, it sucks because I could, looking at that pass, I'm just like, I can't use it. I was there. I could go anytime.
I wish I had a time machine and just go back in time and just tell you, like right to your face, just to see the reaction on your kid face. Be like, guess what? In a year from now, you're moving to LA and you're going to be right next to the park. Just to lie to you, just to see the reaction.
Ooh.
You'd be like, yeah, time traveler, thanks.
Go anytime.
That would have been not the kid me, but like the 19-year-old me, because that's how old I was. I developed slowly.
Well, when you're sheltered, 19-year-old use,
yeah.
10-year-old use. So.
Pretty much. I really didn't break out till about 22 or so.
So by the time I was 5 or 6, I was literally killing hookers on Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Grand Theft Auto 3, I was playing my brother's PlayStation. I was killing hookers and running around stealing cars, pulling out assault rifles and shooting people in the streets. In the game, of course.
Explains a lot of kids these days.
I think I turned out all right.
Yeah, you're right.
Just got a few prison terms I had to finish.
Few screws loose.
But you know what? My childhood, I had a lot of childhood stuff that I was into too. Like, I was hardcore into Power Rangers at age 4.
Mm.
I remember still the tune, like, go, go, Power Rangers. Mighty Muffin Power Rangers. Like, I remember, oh my God, I had the shirt. Good. I had the shirt. I had all the little toys, the action figures. Oh, man.
Did you have the moves?
Oh, yeah. I was so into it. And I had no idea it was like all the fighting was shot in another country on some other TV show, and they just filled it in. Like, the actors weren't doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they would just cut to like some Japanese dude doing flips and shit. And then they'd cut back to the white guy doing the acting, you know?
That's right. Take that.
Yeah. And they would just dub the voices, you know? It was I think it was a Japanese like kaiju TV show. And, and that was in Japan. And then they just cut that, edit it with the acting American sets.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I never got into it. Yeah, I mean, by that time I was already of age.
I was so into it, man. The Green Ranger, he came along. I thought I was really into the Red Ranger until the Green Ranger came along.
Oh, man.
He was so cool. He had a ponytail. He looked like he smoked weed every day.
With his helmet on, so he could like hotbox himself.
And then he became the White Ranger when they made the movie. And I was like, why green to white? What? I don't know.
Didn't they do some kind of dinosaur ranger thing?
Oh, yeah. That was the craze of the early 90s. You remember that? The dinosaur thing?
Yeah, I would watch like the previews, but I'd never really... I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, once Jurassic Park came out, I mean, it was dinosaur craze.
Oh, yeah.
And I was still a kid, you know, like I still did kid stuff. I would run around acting like a velociraptor. You know, I'd watch my horror...
Nerd!
I would watch rated R movies, and then I'd go to the playground and pretend to be a raptor. I would do the whole noises and everything. I'd be like, and I would run around, put my little T-Rex arms. Yeah, I was stupid.
You were just a sweet little kid.
And I remember though, like it was a good mix. You know, it wasn't like every day, all day, Girls Gone Wild, Mardi Gras. You know, I wasn't watching like the worst things ever. It was a pretty good mix. Like even when I got to like. When I became a teenager, like I was still watching SpongeBob on Nickelodeon, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I loved that show.
Oh, yeah. I love SpongeBob.
It has a ton of... Those first few seasons have a ton of adult humor hidden in there that you just don't notice as a kid. Yep.
Yeah, I'm all about some SpongeBob. I can still watch it today. I don't watch it as much as I used to, but I can still... I'll catch an episode every once in a while. Still pretty relevant.
I wanted to shoehorn this in before I forget. It happened to me. I think it was yesterday. I was driving by the gas station and I saw this biker gang pull into the gas station, and I noticed how old they were. Like I was like, man, these guys are like they're getting up there like almost retirement age. But they had like a gang like thing going on. Like you could tell they had the tattoos all over the face, piercings and the like the skull flames, and they all had the same jacket, and they all they were just all really mean. They were old looking, like, and I was thinking, like, they're like getting too elderly to. We're the Rough Riders, and I'm like, more like the geriatric riders. It's like Jesus.
You guys aren't as intimidating as you used to be.
No,
and you were never that intimidating, but now you're just not even the least bit intimidating.
Grandpa, get off that motorcycle. Did you take your blood pressure medicine? You get out of here.
They're all going to trade their 2-wheel Harleys in for like the 3-wheel ones. Or...
That's when you know you're lazy.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, you always see the one guy in the motorcycle gang with the 3-wheel one. You're like, do they really respect him? Probably not. They probably secretly hate him.
He's like the kid with the training wheels still left on his bicycle.
Yeah. Why is Bob still in our gang? Can we kick him out yet? No, he's got money. He helps pay for gas and stuff.
Yeah, when I was looking at him, and I was thinking all these scenarios, like, Grandpa, that's not a sawed-off shotgun, Grandpa. That's your reaching stick. That's like God. Like, could you imagine like trying to put them in a elderly home? You know?
Yeah.
Like, come on, Grandpa, get off that Harley. Come on, you know. It's like, I'm
Get
not.
him a fake Harley and put in the room.
I'm not leaving behind the hotel life.
That reminds me. I recently watched the South Park Harley one. That one's so funny.
Yeah, that's exactly. They think they're the coolest guys ever. I'm like, no, you're not.
Gosh, that one's good. Yeah,
We're so hardcore.
Yeah, man. We'll be in our apartment. We'll have our door open because it's a little hot. We got to keep the wind circulating, and one will drive by, and I'm just like, God, you're not cool at all. I'm sorry. It just all you did is just annoy the crap out of both of us. Just the entire neighborhood that you're driving through right now is just all like, ugh. There's not one person that's like, wow, that guy is really cool. He made my ears hurt so bad.
There's this great sketch I watched. It was some random dudes on YouTube, and the guy was revving his bike, and they all like run up to the window, and they start cheering, and they're like, "Yeah, go!" And they're like, "You go!" And then he drives away, and one of the guys goes, "I wonder where they're going." And then this little nerdy guy goes, "Oh, I bet it's somewhere dangerous." He's like, "Maybe Detroit." I was like, oh,
Walgreens.
And then I hear it again. They hear it again, and they run out again. They start cheering again, and they're so genuine with their cheering. It's so hilarious.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
the title of the video, I'm pretty sure it just says what guys on motorcycles think everyone else thinks.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yep.
Oh, they're all staring at me and cheering me on. And go, wow, cool bike. It's like nobody cares.
So awesome. Look how you burn that fuel, man! You really turn that. What's the thing on motorcycle called? Throttle. You really know how to work that throttle, big boy.
I thought you said. I thought you were gonna say clutch. I'm like,
throttle.
Adam, I'm too young to know all those things. I just push a button now.
Right.
What is this mechanical stuff you're talking about?
What is this key thing that you use? You don't do those anymore.
You don't have a proximity laptop or computer or your phone? Man.
Star Wars. Let's do it.
So Star Wars is kicking into the Disneyland and Disney World areas. I'm not sure if it's finished yet. Star Wars Land.
I think the Disneyland one is. I think the Disney World one still has a little work to do. Not a big fan. I wasn't a fan when they first announced it.
I had a friend that went, and she was they went in there. They want $200 for a lightsaber. I'm like, God dang, $250, man! They must really thinking Star Wars fans are dumb.
Does it really work? You really slice people in half?
Better for $250.
Yeah, better turn that thing on and be able to cut Mickey in half. No, I'm sorry.
I can buy a Glock for $500 off the black market. Jesus Christ! Like,
they're gonna see it, and someone's gonna think that, and they're gonna get out and get in a fight with it, and be like, "Oh yeah, you got a weapon? Well, I've got this." And then they're gonna make the evening news. Nerd with lightsaber is in critical condition in the hospital tonight. But yeah, so I definitely want to go check it out, but I don't have the enthusiasm that I would have normally for like a new attraction that was, not themed to something like Star Wars. But videos and seeing it, I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty cool, and I'll definitely ride it or check it out when it's not like a 6-hour wait. I think it's overkill, especially in Disneyland when you have. Let's break it down.
Yeah, it definitely feels very weird because like I used to be a pretty big Star Wars fan. Mm-hmm. Like growing up, those movies, oh my God, they influenced me so much. Yeah. I remember seeing them on cable TV and just going, "Whoa, what is this?" Like,
well, I'm old enough to I saw them in theater. Like I remember going to see.
Oh, you're old.
Empire Strikes Back at this massive dome theater.
I'm so jealous, man. You got to see that in a theater like that.
I remember being in the theater buying our concessions, and this particular one only had one screen. And so you had to walk around the corner, and then you were in this big like open area, but there was no doors, so you could hear everything. I just remember being in there and hearing Yoda's voice and thinking like, "What the hell is that?" Like it was like when he was talking to Luke and Dagobah, and it was just so like intense. And I'm like, I can't be in here right now. We have to leave because it's going to spoil it for me. So we had to go back outside to wait. So the original 3 were the best, man.
I don't believe it. Doctor,
yeah.
Dr. Swar, you failed.
Yep.
So you heard that epic line.
Do or do not. That's some deep shit right there, though. You could use that in any situation. Do or do not. There is no try.
That puppet, man, and Empire Strikes Back, that puppet was so good. When he goes to reaches and touches Luke's arm, and he's like, "This didn't matter." Yeah, that puppetry was great.
Jim Henson, man. Some Jim Henson stuff right there.
Frank Oz. It's a little bit more wonky though in the third one.
Yeah,
the Ewoks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's not as good in that one. I don't know why. He's a little cross-eyed. He's like, "Get back."
I think they put too much emphasis on the Ewoks. I kind of forgot about Yoda. Like, just use the old one from the last movie. He's good.
It seemed definitely like a one-day shoot thing because he just dies. He's like, "Your training is done."
Then it becomes a ghost,
and he disappears. Yeah, it was definitely a one-day. It was definitely a one-day. It was a one-day shoot for Mark Hamill.
Well, how much would it cost to make a whole new Yoda? About $5,000. You use the old one. We're good. Just brush the dust off.
This is the beginning decline of George Lucas. I think he started getting a little lazy. I was thinking about it, man. How different would it have been if they had just made the movies faster? Like, what if George was like, you know what? I'm going to get on it and start making this prequel trilogy in 88 or 89. You know what I mean? Start pre-production and, shoot the film in 90 and then finish it and release it in 91. I mean, how much different would it have been? Because there have been so much more practical effects, less crappy scenes of walking in hallways on a green screen, boring dialogue. Like, nobody wants to watch that.
Yeah.
Two guys just walking repeatedly in hallways. Like, how much of a difference would have been if Star Wars, the prequels came out? Like, it probably would have had a different title too. It probably would have been totally different. It wouldn't have even been Phantom Menace.
Right.
I mean, it would just...
I remember that hype building up to that. It was so intense. Like, I went to the opening night, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've seen any Star Wars stuff. This is going to be so amazing. So excited. And I remember about 10, 20 minutes in or so, and I'm just like, this is not that good. I really kept trying to like it. I'm like, oh, yeah, look at that kid is the young Darth Vader. He's not a good actor, though. He's terrible. Keyword.
You said something very key, and a lot of other fans were thinking the same thing. I'm trying to like this.
Yes.
I'm really trying, George. I'm really trying to like this.
I really did. I gave it all my effort to like it.
Actually, I don't feel so bad now that you saw Empire Strikes Back, because then you washed it down with the prequel in the theater.
Yeah, the same theater, too. The exact same theater. Oh. Yes. I saw Empire Strikes Back and then the Phantom Menace. What was it, 10 years apart in the same theater?
That's like
pretty
having
awesome.
sex with someone and then they fart on you. It's like, man, that sex was amazing.
Well, I can't say I've had that happen, but I imagine it would not be that good.
Like, oh, same place too. Oh.
What had happened was... Oh my God, man, that's disgusting.
Oh my God, we just lost half our audience. Okay, bye.
And we gained another half, probably. These guys are sick. I love it.
Woo!
My girl farts on me every time during sex. Yes, it's called a blumpkin. Or no, it's called a fluffy.
I saw Phantom Menace and I had sex and got farted on.
That's actually a sex thing I've heard of. It's called a fluffer or a fluffy. It's where she farts and it blows your balls. Wow. It's called a fluffy. It's real. Google it, man.
I think we're still 18.
Yeah, probably. Dude, and what's bad is I'm about to be a dad, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. So
dad at 18.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a youngin'. Actually 46, first time dad. So yeah, it's gonna be different and weird. We're excited.
Wow, you're an outlier, man. Like,
yeah.
You're from Little Rock. You should have had a kid at like
I know
19.
Yep. I didn't meet the right woman. I was trying to meet that youngin, that 18, 19-year-old that was ready to settle on down and pop out a few babies.
Get you a nice $72,000, 10,000 square foot home in Little Rock.
Yeah, boy. Trailer.
Get you an F-150.
Hell yeah.
Quad
man.
cab.
That's right. Put some mud grippers on that butt, boy. And a baby seat in the back in the bed.
Got a job at Georgia Pacific.
Yeah.
Paper mill.
Yeah. Or the slaughterhouse, whichever. That's what you do.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
the coal power plant.
Yep. So what I'm really excited about, one thing, and it's kind of on the Disney theme, is now I won't be looked at as weird when I go to the Disney parks. I'll have a kid with me, so
you have an excuse.
Yeah, I'm here for this little guy. Dad, I'm tired. No, we're going on Space Mountain again. We gotta watch the fireworks.
I really want to be there though. If your kid ever says these words, Daddy, let's go to Universal. I want to be there just to see the look on your face.
Well, no, you'll need to be there because you'll have to take him to Universal because I won't be going.
Disowned.
Go with Uncle Trev, and then I will see you next week when you fly back home by yourself.
Daddy, you suck. Oh my god,
that's one thing.
I could just see you now though, pushing the little stroller around.
God!
Oh, the kids have to come here. We gotta ride the ride again.
Oh, I hope it doesn't warp my Disney fanaticism. That would suck. God, but I don't want to go to Disney again. Jesus Christ! Can we just take a vacation here?
Daddy, I prefer Star Wars Land over the Cars or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Can we go back to Marvel Land?
I want to see Chris Evans' pecs. Like, what? Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I really hope I don't become one of those parents that you see at Disney that they look like zombies. They're just pushing the stroller and they don't even look where they're going. They're just running into people and knocking stuff off the counters. I've seen that, man, and it's like, wow, there's nothing in their eyes. Hey, we have to get souvenirs. We have to have fun, right?
There's nothing in their eyes. Like
it's just empty.
Like the Jaws shark.
It's empty. Seriously.
It's like staring into the abyss.
Yeah. We were there one year, me and Renee went, and there was this group of strollers that came just bustling through. We were just like, whoa. And like one of them ran over Renee's foot and she didn't say a word. And like she had to have known. I mean, obviously the stroller was like, doo, 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 doo. Didn't say a word, didn't say like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Nothing.
That reminds me, dude. Oh my God. I was in Vegas with my sister and we were in this casino. I don't remember. It was like the Palazzo. I don't remember which casino it was. This bus of Koreans unloaded and it was all Korean ladies. It was like 150 Korean ladies from a charter bus. Mm-hmm. And it was like a wave of Asians like rolling over me and my sister and like, Layla! Like, I was like reaching out for her. I couldn't get to her all of a sudden. Like it was like, I was just like being pushed by all these Korean ladies. So I was like, oh my God. It was so freaking funny, dude.
The wave of Korean ladies.
And I was literally getting pushed because I couldn't get past them. It was like 5 in a row and like 4 rows behind that and like just pushing me away from her.
They're probably on like the tour bus thing too, where they have like a limited time. Okay,
oh yeah,
you have 10 minutes in this casino. Hurry up.
They had a timer like those kind of like the nuns from Beavis and Butthead Do America. Yeah. And Beavis and Butthead was with the Koreans. Hey Beavis. Yeah. We're gonna score. Oh my God.
Beavis and Butthead, the bane of my existence. I hated the show when I was in high school because they called me Beavis. So I despised it. I like it now, but in high school I was like, ugh, hate that show. Yeah.
I just love the music video segments because I would watch those music videos, right? And then I would actually watch Beavis and Butthead and watch them make fun of those music videos.
Yeah. I love the neighbor too. Oh, damn boys always in there whacking. That's all they do is whacking and whacking. Get off my property.
They would screw him over every time. They would go in that camper and just fucking destroy everything. Oh my God.
Boys.
And every time he would see him and Beavis and Butthead, he would see him and he would his vision be all blurry and shit. So you couldn't tell if it was even them. He was always confused if it was the same voice. God damn, he was so oblivious.
I gotta watch that again. I think they're doing a new an updated episode or an updated series of it too.
There's some new
modernizing it. Yeah.
That was definitely the setup for King of the Hill.
Yeah.
That character's voice and everything.
Yep.
Mike Judge, man. God, that guy's
good stuff,
freaking
good stuff.
Funny ass dude.
That'll be one of our movie episodes that we do. We're definitely going to cover like Mike Judge stuff, Office Space,
South Park.
It's what did he do? He did what's the one that's basically like the movie about today? Gosh.
Oh, yes. Idiocracy?
Yes, Idiocracy.
I was like, today. I was
It's like the future movie that we've actually entered into now.
It's actually kind of spot on because it took me forever to realize what you're talking about. I'm like,
Idiocracy. Yeah. You mean like water from the toilet?
that's how I sat. Thought.
Wait.
You mean Idiocracy?
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm supposed to be getting out today. Dumbass, you're in the wrong line. Oh man.
That was that chick from the self-checkout. Hey, I got less items. I get to skip everybody. They would have let her skip everybody.
Yeah. Typically it's when someone sees you and they say, hey man, would you like to go ahead of me? You don't just like take the initial step yourself.
I was gonna mention about the prequels. I think this is not brought up a whole lot by other YouTubers and stuff. The problems with the prequels, I really think it's just a huge time delay between the 83 release of Return of Jedi and the prequels. I think because it came out, 1999? I think if he would have just rushed it into it, like during the late 80s, I think they would have been a lot better movies.
Oh, yeah.
And if he got someone to direct them, I think they'd probably have been actually decent.
Well, yeah, and the story was decent. It's just the casting wasn't that great. The use of the CG.
Yeah, he relied on it too heavily. That's why I think if they did it in the late 80s and early 90s, they would have used more practical effects.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been so lazy about it. He would have still been motivated.
I think he just got too rusty because, I mean, you see that happen to Guns N' Roses. They wait 15 years to release an album, or it just doesn't work, man.
Yeah.
You can't wait that long between your creative projects.
I don't know, unless you're going to like completely recreate yourself, somewhat. Like if Guns N' Roses come back out. We're switching to country now. We can keep the same name though, because it kind of fits. Guns and country. Another thing that killed the first one too was that everybody knows this, and it's widely, universally accepted that Jar Jar Binks basically kind of killed that movie. That was one of the worst characters of all time. It's so bad. It's really sad though that the actor that played him was suicidal afterwards because he was getting so much flack for the character. That wasn't even his fault. He's just like, I'm just an actor portraying this person. Yeah,
and he also had Jar Jar Binks' little head on top of his head, so it wasn't his facial expressions or anything. It was just CG over a plastic head.
He was the whole story with him. It's so sad. He's like, I never really did anything else in acting. I just really got depressed. That character basically almost killed somebody.
You know what's weird though? The Star Wars is doing good with the TV show that has nothing to do with the original characters. I think that was the direction they should have went. Just making a new trilogy has nothing to do with Skywalker and Leia.
Yeah.
I think that was
the later ones.
Yeah, I think that was what kind of got them off to a rocky start, was trying to include all the Han Solo and the lightsabers and and I think that's really what kept JJ from just telling his own story.
And then the Disney aspect of it, and once again, being a super Disney fan and being critical too, I think that they just went and we have Star Wars now. You're going to love Star Wars. You're going to buy Star Wars. Everything is going to have Star Wars on it, and you're going to go see the movies, and you're going to love it. So,
it backfired. It backfired hardcore. Yeah. They had landfills full of this toys that no one bought. God. I'm serious. It's on the internet. Go look it up.
Wow.
I'll put it in the show notes. Just all these toys that no one bought.
Did you see the last one?
No,
I didn't see it. A friend of mine saw it and said it was hard to follow. First two they were the sequels, right? They were 6, 7, or 4, 5, and 6. They were 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
I saw 7 and 8. I have not seen the Return, or what is it called? The Last Jedi? Whatever
Yeah,
the last
Last
one's
Jedi.
called. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah.
Man, what is it called?
Come on, everybody. Chime in on us.
Does it really matter?
No, not really. It's the last one that no one,
whatever.
a lot of people saw, but no one really cared about it. So
I was thinking about I saw the seventh one, the first one, and I was like, nope, don't need to see it anymore. I'm serious. I saw Force Awakens. I was like, I'm good. I don't need to see it anymore. This is
I
as good
saw
as it
the
gets,
Force
I think.
Awakens with a friend of mine, and we were kind of like, because we did this whole thing where we went and had dinner or had lunch, and then we went and saw the movie. It was just, and so the next one came out the next year, and he's like, "Hey man, are you down again?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." Just trying to keep with our little theme going. And that one just was like, wow. The second one, the first one was bad. The second one was like, what? Super Leia? And then the movie starts out with a mama joke. That was like the precursor to the entire movie, was when he did the whole whatever the joke was.
That was definitely Marvel's success bleeding over into those, because Marvel's tells jokes like that. Like Spider-Man has little quips and stuff like that. Your mom, and that was definitely
that and Super Leia just killed it for me. I was just like,
the girl Rose. I remember I watched this one scene though on YouTube. She's in the casino world planet. Mm-hmm. She passes all these slave children, and she goes up to these animals and she goes, "Animals, we need to free you." Like the slave children, you're okay, but the animals, you got to get out of here, animals.
Right, that was in the second one. Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, what in the hell?
Yep, they released these weird horse things to like. It was like this racetrack kind of thing or something.
Someone said the new Star Wars movies are sort of like a weird fever dream. And I was like, yeah, they are. They're like a weird nightmarish fever dream. Like, what?
Your fever's breaking and you're taking a lot of medicine.
All the Star Wars stuff doesn't look right. It's like, this lightsaber looks a little off, a little different. The walkers look kind of weird. And
the what are the ATSTs on crack? The big massive things.
And
they're AT-ATs,
yeah. And Luke Skywalker is like an angry old man. Like, what's going on? Like, it doesn't make sense.
He's drinking alien teat milk or something.
Yeah, and he's looking at him while he's milking it. Like,
and his sexy eyes. You like it too. Don't give me that look.
And it was just weird too. I remember I had this weird thought when I was watching Force Awakens. It reveals the Millennium Falcon. Mm-hmm. And Rey, she gets in it. She's like, "I've never flown this," and she's just like pro at flying it. I'm like, she's never flown anything. How would she know how to fly the Millennium Falcon? Like,
she's doing loop-de-loops and
I was like, she's flying it the best, and she's never flown it. Like, it's just really weird.
When he went to Jabba's.
It's good to have a little struggle for your characters. You don't want your characters to be just absolutely amazing at everything. It's just they're hard to relate to. You gotta have some struggle.
For instance, good example.
I think that's the problem with the Matrix sequels. He's like Jesus, like God in the second and third one. He's too good.
Right.
It's not a woman or man thing. It's just once your character is Superman, it's like really hard to, what can you throw at him?
Right. It's like you can relate to Neo in the first one because
in fact it was so fresh when I saw in this, I think it was the third one, when Neo finds that super powerful guy in the subway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like, gets his butt kicked from that guy. I was like, it was so nice seeing Neo actually get his butt kicked a little bit. I was like, I don't know. You want to have stakes for your characters. Mm-hmm. You don't want them to be just, everything's easy, barely an inconvenience.
Well, then when it leads up to the scene where he stops the bullets and he finally gets it, and you're like, oh yeah.
You get that huge payoff.
Yeah. Yep. On that side note, on the Matrix, I saw that in the movie theater, and I dropped like about 3 or 4 hits of acid.
Okay, wait. So how did you see that in '99 and hit? How old were you?
99. I was about mid-20s.
So the moment you were let go from your mom, you started hitting acid.
Pretty much. Yeah, I went straight for the hard stuff, man. I started drinking a little bit, and then like one of the first actual drugs I did was acid. I didn't even like, most people start with weed and they'll go to like, whatever's after weed, but I went straight for the LSD, man. I was like, oh, let's do it. So yeah.
And what's crazy? I was 13 going for that stuff, like not the acid, but booze and pot.
Yeah.
So everybody listening out there, do not over shelter your kids.
Yeah, don't do it.
It just backfires
Yes.
hardcore. Like, whoa.
Because then when you finally start doing the stuff, you go like all in, like we're, shooting vodka and chasing it with tequila and just stupid stuff like that. So,
like Tommy Boy, when you just crash right onto the table.
Yeah. Yep. It's like, okay, you don't understand moderation. You just understand, I've never done this before because my mom told me it was bad. So I'm going to do extra.
I was missing out.
Yeah. We're going to do an episode about that and how to not parent.
Do you think anybody could smell on you how much of a fanatic you were and sheltered you were when you were doing those things? Like, man, Adam, he's tripping on acid and he's just singing Aladdin songs.
He keeps thinking everybody in here is a Disney character. It's so weird.
He's talking to me really weird. He's like, you shall not. He's like talking about the Cave of Wonders and the lamp and the genie. What is he talking about?
And he picked up our baby and held it up and said, "It's the circle of life. Please give us our child back." On the Disney theme, and the Star Wars stuff, I'm not excited about it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to check it out. But I think it's overkill. I think it's.
I could say, dude, I do have a new hope. The TV was good. I watched the new TV show, The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah. I saw the first one. I haven't watched it anymore.
It's pretty decent. So I was like, it's not too
Baby
bad.
Yoda. Baby Yoda got everybody. Like, oh my God, Baby Yoda.
I think Disney might hit their stride and realize, they just like the aesthetics. They don't care about trying to retrofit Luke into the movies and stuff.
Right.
They just like the lightsabers and the battles.
Yeah,
and the
there's so many
fighting
different directions they can go with all that stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Just tell a new story within the universe. I was thinking about Marvel. Have you seen the new lineup of the new Marvel movies coming out?
I haven't.
Well, that were supposed to come out.
Right. They did cancel quite a few.
I'm not going to lie. I hate to say this, but I am not really that enthused. Like, looking at the titles, I'm like, ooh, yay.
Are they starting to get into some of the side Marvel characters? Like,
yeah. Like,
Iceman or whatever? I don't know.
Like Black Widow movie, that might be pretty good. I like Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm not really... I like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that'd be a cool sequel. The third one. That'd be good to see. Chris Pratt's funny. I like him.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is this the beginning of the end of the superhero genre? Because I don't know how they're going to top it.
Well, also, it's, part of their draw is to see it at the theater. That was part of the thing, is like the big, the Avengers, you want to go to the theater to see it on the big screen with all the surround sound. Well, that's, it's been non-existent for the past 6 months or so. So,
well, the Western died because of culture shift.
Yep.
And I think we're experiencing a culture shift right now.
Yeah.
We have to be.
Kind of forced culture shift.
Yeah, especially across the entire world.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's going to come back as strong as it was.
And I think too, like so many people have had to adjust, like, especially if you had the room in your house. Well, what can you do? You can buy like a massive 80-inch TV and get the surround in your room. Pretty much makes up for the theater experience. So
yeah,
that's a lot of it too. Is like, why would I go to the theater when I can just watch it here? I can still have all the same kind of effects pretty much, and I can pause it if I have to go use the bathroom. I'm not going to miss anything. So,
and the thing is, I want Disney to make money. I want Hollywood to make money. I'm not crapping on the Hollywood system. I want them to do fine.
Yeah, definitely. I'm an investor in Disney.
Oh, trust me, dude. If they don't do well, I'm leaving LA. Like, it's going to turn to a Detroit. If you know what I mean. It's going to be a crappy city if Hollywood crumbles to the ground.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. Like, I don't know, like, what's gonna happen. Like, it's so up in the air.
Well, that's everything straight to TV now. It's straight to DVD, straight to TV. That's why all the different platforms are coming out with their own, like HBO Max and Disney Plus, and the timing of it's kind of interesting with how everything is.
I saw this new superhero TV show on Netflix just debuted, and I had this feeling, kind of really strong feeling over my brain. I was like, Like I just did not want to see another superhero. I was just like, I don't want to see a superhero. Like, and I was thinking, man, that's the strongest I've ever felt that. Like, I don't want to see a superhero. I
Was
don't
it
want
that
to see it.
kind of dark one? I think I saw the preview for it.
I don't know. It's something Academy or something University.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was just like, yeah, they're saving the day. Yeah. Like I just don't care. Like I'm just like,
You know, I'm
maybe
so behind on different TV shows that everyone's talking about, and like and it's overwhelming when you try to go on to like the different platforms to see, okay, what's the popular show and where is it located? No, what, like, I don't know, man.
it's weird. You know, it's what's happening is I noticed this thing that's happening. It's like you have to now search for movies now. Like I know, like you have to literally search up indie movie releases to watch them because they're not advertised. Like a movie, like a $10 million budget movie, won't even be advertised at all. And you have to literally type it into Google. Good movies that came out this year to watch. It's like, what in the hell is happening? It's like they're just dumping them on the streaming platform and forgetting about them.
Yeah, and I feel like we're, you know, like me personally, I'm like somewhat missing out because I love those kind of movies like that. You know, I don't, and before, you know, back in the day when I would go to actual video rental place, you know, you see it in front of your face. You're like, oh, that's a new one. I haven't ever seen that before. Let me grab that. You know, it's a little bit different now with just having to go through all the different platforms and which one do I go to, which one do I look at, you know. So
it's weird, man. We're entering this weird media thing where it's just there's too much noise now.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Because back in the day, everything had to be put into a blockbuster. Everything had to be seen on the screen and then wait a year for it to come on VHS. You know what I mean? Like there was no quick assembly line of these things.
And there was always the Tuesday release date. Like, oh, what's coming out this next Tuesday? And now there's no set release date for movies. They just kind of drop them. like you said, they just plug it into the platform and they're like, oh, it's you have to scroll down and search for it, but it's in there somewhere. Yeah.
I saw this one movie, Under the Silver Lake. Man, it's actually a really good movie. It's like cool little like detective, like noir kind of movie with this hipster. Lives in Silver Lake and he's got all these crazy conspiracy theories that he's trying to like figure out. But he's also got like he's getting kicked out of his apartment. He's got all these like financial troubles. And I'm trying to think of the actor's name, the guy who played Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I see. I've got it pulled up right now.
He's a British / American citizen.
Andrew Garfield, yeah. And it's got Topher Grace in it. Nice.
Yeah. And it's one of those movies I had to literally like look up and then click on and then rent. Like it was not advertised.
Okay.
And I really liked it. Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna make note.
It's definitely 2017 capsulized in like a movie. That whole hipster Silver Lake, Seattle, Fremont.
Nice. And you know it's gonna be good because it got 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, so definitely gonna check it out.
It's definitely a polarizing movie because
nice.
Some people say it's like, oh, it's waste of time, waste your time. But I kind of like the like little detective nods towards conspiracy theories and hipster vibes it gives off.
Yeah, me too. This one thing says a little Hitchcock, a touch of noir, some 90s ride rock, a few naked women, and yet not much to see.
There's this one scene where he gets sprayed by a skunk, and then he's out in the street looking for something. I can't remember if it's like a dog or something. And he's in the street, and there's these like scantily dressed girls going to audition for this sleazy guy in a tank top. Anyways, he gets up near them, and they're like, "Oh, what's that terrible smell?" Because he's been sprayed by the skunk. And he's like, "Oh, they know." And he starts backing off real slowly. He doesn't want them to know he stinks.
Oh, nice.
It was just Andrew Garfield's look on his face. He's like, "Oh no, they're gonna know I was sprayed." I was thinking, so what should we end this episode with? And I was thinking, like, you know, what are some of the movies from your childhood that you've forgot about that you thought they were like really dreamlike? Or just like you thought it was a dream, but actually it was a movie. And I was thinking like, oh, there's so many great movies I watched as a kid and I loved that I forgot about. Like I was looking at these movies. The Page Master. Yeah, that's a good one. Also, at a Steven Spielberg produced animation movie called An American Tail.
Oh, yes.
I sent that to you. Such a good little
That
mouse
is a
movie.
really good little. Yeah, that's a very good movie. It makes
It's
me
like,
cry.
yeah,
It gets me.
yeah, he's like trying
Just
to find
somewhere
his
out
family.
there. Oh my god, that
Yeah,
song!
yeah.
Just like, oh,
It's so good. And I totally
Yeah.
forgot its existence. You remember that deep voice when in Aladdin? I think Aladdin was probably my favorite
Yes.
Disney movie.
yeah,
You remember when my favorite part of the movie is in the beginning when the Jafar is disguised as the old man, the
Yeah.
creepy old man,
Yep.
and he takes Aladdin out to the desert.
tricks him.
You must go in. Yeah, he tricks him and go into the cave. In the cave, I love that deep voice, like,
Yes.
who disturbs my slumber?
Yep.
You know, and it's like, whoa, that's so cool. And then I like the way the mouth opens and the steps go
Yep.
down. Like, oh, that was so cool.
That's one too where they incorporated a little bit of computer animation with the animation, which is really cool to me. I like that a lot.
Oh, it's so seamless, man. I just
Yeah.
watched it today. I was like, oh
Yep.
man, this is so great. This scene.
Oh yeah,
You know what was really weird? I liked the fact that he just turns around and says, "Oh, it's a magic carpet."
yeah.
Like he was not shocked at all. It's like,
Yeah.
you've
Hey.
never seen a magic carpet? Like, come on now.
Oh, cool! You just sit on it and it flies around.
Yeah,
This
it's just a
works.
magic. It's just a conscious piece of carpet.
Right.
Like,
Cloth
What
has a
that
brain.
okay. It's like he's seen that every day. Do you remember that movie? We're Back, the animated dinosaur movie. We're Back.
yeah.
The dinosaur story.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene? Do you remember that scene where he had to sign the contract to the evil old man in blood? He had to cut his finger and sign that contract. Oh my god,
man, it's been so long, but yeah, I kind of do. Yeah,
it was
pretty
so
intense, man.
Yeah, it's intense. Like you're a little kid watching that. You're like, oh my
Well,
god, he's got to cut his hand and
Yeah.
sign that thing with blood. I remember the scene where the dinosaurs, they all of a sudden become evil with
Uh-huh.
magic or whatever. They go from being nice and having personalities to like just dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like scarred from that. Even
Pretty
after
intense.
even after killing hookers on Grand Theft Auto, I remember being scarred from that.
Like, the
Like,
dinosaurs, they start out so friendly and happy, and then
yeah,
they can't do. You have to go the other way. You have to start them out as the dinosaurs that turn to the
there's a ton of animated movies that get overlooked that were not Disney.
Well, there's one
Like-
that I remember that got me was Transformers the movie. That was so intense.
Oh,
I'm like,
when he dies at the end?
wow. Well, and the part where he curses too. Open, damn you! I'm like, what? Optimus Prime cursed? But yeah, when they die too, they're like killing off the classics.
Yeah.
Like, wow, and they do this whole like it doesn't just show them like you don't just get the idea that they fall into the lava. They have to show them like sinking into the lava and oh my god, that robot died. Yeah, that was intense, man. That movie.
What's the most traumatic scene you've ever watched as a kid, like from a kid's movie?
from a cartoon?
It doesn't have to be a cartoon, it could be any kid's movie.
That
Well, you
one
want me to
got
tell you
'cause-
mine?
Yeah, of course.
You remember that movie where I think it's Homeward Bound with the dog and the cat,
Yes.
and they're trying to get back to their.
Yes.
It's voiced by Michael J. Fox as the
Yep.
dog.
Yep.
You know that scene right towards the end, right before they get home, he gets hit with that porcupine right in the face.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then the vet they go to the veterinarian, I think it
Yep.
is, or the pound, right?
Yeah.
And they have to escape from the pound, but they pull out those porcupines out of his face.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a down moment because I think that like you thought he was gonna get stuck in the pound and get put
Yeah.
down, and it's like, oh god.
Yep. Yeah, that's my little sister's like favorite movie of all time, Homeward Bound. But yeah, that's
Definitely couldn't rewatch that. I could not
Right.
rewatch that, like because I would just see it with nostalgia goggles, like,
Yep.
and then be mad because it's not as good as I remember. Like,
yeah.
damn it.
Speaking on that aspect is I watched Pete's Dragon, like because I loved Pete's Dragon as a kid. You know, seeing this little orphan kid riding around this dragon, and he's got the bullies picking on him, and
Pete's Dragon. Let me.
it's
Oh, I've definitely not seen this.
oh man,
I'm like, oh, ooh.
check it out, man. It's pretty bad.
The poster looks terrible.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Now,
Yeah,
that's
one. That's when I think about. That's one that kind of traumatized me with the shoe. That got me.
Oh. You know what was really traumatizing? When he goes to the cartoon land, and that chick is trying to find him. I'm here.
Oh yeah,
She's like chasing him down. She's
Yeah.
like, "Come."
yeah.
And he's like, that scared the crap out of me as a kid. that scared me, man. Like,
Yeah.
I had like freaking nightmares. Like some woman was chasing me, trying to give me a kiss. Like, she's
Even
gonna
the whole
give me-
tunnel to Cartoon Land was kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, it's
Like,
really
ooh, it's kind of weird.
even the scene where he pulls out the little magic bullet, cartoon bullets, like that's really dark too. Like he's putting them in a gun and everything. That's dark.
Yeah.
Man.
They would not have been able to release that one in today's era.
No, especially the end when he gets squashed with the
steamroller.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like getting squashed, like, oh god, and then his head pops.
Yep.
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, man?
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis, man.
Was that Robert Zemeckis?
Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny when you look back at some movies that you like back in the day, and you see it's like a director that you recognize, but you didn't recognize back then.
Also, speaking of Robert Zemeckis sneaking in really dark scenes that just come out of nowhere. You know that scene and you know it's coming, but it still hits you hardcore. Is the scene where in the movie Castaway when Wilson starts floating away, and then Tom Hanks wakes up and realizes that Wilson is not on the raft.
Yep. And he just gets to go. Yes.
But that performance is so amazing because when he gets up, he actually has a little bit of hope because he sees Wilson.
Yeah. Yep.
It's played perfectly because he's not playing it from the top of the scene sad.
Right.
He sees him. He's like, okay, well I can. I'll jump in the water. I'll tie the thing around me. Like he's a little happy actually that he's kind of close.
Yep.
But then he realizes he can't do it, and that's what's so sad. It's like he just realizes he's not gonna be, and he's kind of close, but not enough.
Yep.
Then he just gotta watch him drift away. It's so sad.
Man,
Tom Hanks,
so amazing,
good at
so amazing,
making you cry over a volleyball.
That movie is so good. Like I feel like we should do a episode on Castaway. We could
a commentary. We can watch it.
Completely
and talk
do it.
about it.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna do an episode on Castaway.
We'll do a commentary. We'll just watch the movie and talk about it.
That could be one of our things. Like, it's a movie commentary episode. Let's pick a movie or have get some audience people like, hey, do a commentary on this one.
So everybody listening, put a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and then comment if you want to see that.
Trevor, did you watch the movie? I did too. It sucked. Okay, there's your commentary. Next episode.
Next.